Hi everyone, welcome to this Revit 2020.1 What's New video. In this video we'll be taking a look at the new reinforcement constraints and some of the new features that Autodesk have built in. So let's get right to it. So you'll notice here that we have a pretty simple model set up. We have a couple of layers of reinforcement bar on these pad foundations here, as well as some starter bars for the column. Now traditionally when we constrain reinforcement bar, we can constrain it to cover or in fact the element's face. So now the new feature is we can constrain one reinforcement bar to another reinforcement bar. So for example here, just to demonstrate this, I'm going to now dimension from the element face here to the second layer of reinforcement bar. And you can see that's currently 90 millimeters. Notice that I've got a 70 mil cover to the element face. If I now select this bottom U bar here, and I change the diameter perhaps to H12, what you'll notice straight away is the second layer of reinforcement bar has automatically shifted down. Not only is it just the other U-bars here, but it's also these starter bars as well. So it's intelligently updated, but you'll notice here that it's maintained my 70mm cover. Let's go back and change that the other way. Let's go for a H25. Now you can see that we've got our 70mm cover, but in fact now 95mm to the second layer. Okay, let's return that back to a H20. To show you that in 3 dimensions, if I select this bar here, for example, and again we go and change that, so currently it's a 32, if I come down and maybe make that a 25, yeah, you can see this bar here automatically changes and updates, so they're constrained together. How's this working? So if I select this second layer and now select the Edit Constraints tool from the context ribbon, what I can now do is select the center line of this bar here, and you'll now notice that I've constrained it to the center line of this U bar here. Now we actually have 2 different ways of doing this. You'll notice here I can toggle between the clear distance between bars or the distance between centers. Notice the dimension changes, so that's now -20. If I click this again, you can see now that's 0. Now this arrow here is also telling me the direction of the positive value. So in fact, if I wanted to take this second layer of bar and shift it upwards, I now know here that I need to put in a negative distance, perhaps maybe -10 or something. Okay, so that's obviously quite useful. Now you'll also notice here that we've got a 2-way constraint. Let's demonstrate this by taking a look at a plane view. So if I go back to our level 1 plane, you'll notice here that we have a lap set up between 2 simple H25 bars. If I select this bar here and I use the shape handle to edit the reinforcement, you'll notice here that the lap is being maintained, so the top bar is changing. So how's that all working? Well, once again, if I click Edit Constraints, you'll notice here that we have the ability to constrain both of these ends of bar. Currently, I've set that to 1000mm. Now here, you'll notice that I've got a 2-way constraint set up. That means that I can change the primary or the secondary reinforcement element. And of course, both things will change. If I only wanted to change the primary one, I could make this just a simple 1-way constraint. Yeah. Okay, so there's some of the new features on our reinforcement tools. Really, really useful.